Hello everybody, hello. This is Chris Barron, your Photoshop instructor. What's up? Let's have a quick look and see what's what. What are we gonna talk about today? Hope you can hear me well. The voice quality is gonna be lower than before. It's something regarding the server status. We have to boost it, we have to pay a certain amount per month. And I didn't actually pay it, so that's that. I think it's $10 per month or something like that to get slightly better, whatever. $9.99 per month, yeah. And if you do that, you get a boost and whatever. I don't think it's worth it. Hopefully, you guys can hear me well. In case the audio quality isn't that great, sorry about that. You'll just have to wait for the YouTube video, which is probably gonna come out in around probably a month or so. So yeah, it is what it is. So today we're gonna talk about UX first and foremost, and then we're gonna do some design reviews. But UX first and foremost, UX is basically problem solving. That's how I like to see it. Problem solving. So let's take a real case scenario, because this is actually real. This is exactly what's gonna be in my Adobe XD course. I do have a section about these specific situations. So I have a website, right? The website is fairly nice. It's pretty good. It's well designed. I designed it. It basically sells Photoshop courses in my native language. I also have the other one in English, which is identical basically. Yeah, this is basically a landing page. Here's the English version as well. Come on. Okay. So basically the same design, right? So now, obviously I've made some Facebook ads, some YouTube ads, whatever. I'm pumping money into it, and I'm basically trying my best to get as many sales as possible. This is the life of an entrepreneur. This is exactly what most entrepreneurs face on an everyday basis. They create a product, no matter what the product is, and then basically they pump some money into it, into marketing, and hopefully you'll get more out of it, right? You put $20 per day into advertising and you get $100, whatever, right? So that's basically the life of every entrepreneur out there. So it's all fine and well. I'm putting money into it. You know, sales aren't all that great. Let's say I'm making one sale per day, right? For this Romanian course. It doesn't matter. The details don't matter. I'm just throwing out numbers. And I'm constantly talking to my agency, and we're thinking, what can we do to improve sales? With tweaking ads, with making various changes. I got more reviews, this and that, whatever, you know, just trying to squeeze more sales out of it, right? And then it hit me. UX, it hit me. It's something so basic, so simple, so obvious that it's fantastic. It's incredible. Again, this is in the Adobe XD course, but I figured if you're sitting here, you know, listening to me, watching my ugly mug, and, you know, from what I understand, the voice quality isn't all that great, I should let you know what's what. So, the page is well designed, but that actually doesn't matter. I actually created the live chat thing here where you can talk to me, right? And a few students, a few visitors actually, they've said, "Hey Chris, you know, where can I see some free lessons before I get to it? You know, where can I see some free lessons before I pay it? Because it is quite a sum of money, so I'd like to see a few lessons before I purchase it." And I found that really odd, because right here you can click and you're taken to the free lessons. So obviously this is in Romanian, but in the English version it's the exact same thing. It says check out the free lessons by clicking here. So just before start course, I had that. So I was really surprised, to be honest, when a few people, not a lot, 3-4 people, were saying, "Hey Chris, where are the actual free lessons?" Okay, and that got me thinking, and that's where I knew I messed up. Here's the scoop. Here is the scoop. 1 second. Yeah, I'm now gonna share my screen. Boop. There we go. Right. So here's where I actually realized that things aren't great. This is my Google Analytics, right? Google Analytics. And what does Google Analytics say regarding mobile last month, last 30 days? 92.5% of my traffic is mobile. Now, why is that significant? Why is the traffic significant on mobile? Well, let's have a quick look. Same website, right? The Romanian website. Again, the free lessons is right here. You can't really miss it. It's right above the start course. Pretty standard stuff, right? Okay, let's go to the mobile version. Mobile version, and here's the design. The title, the subtitle, the calls to action, the video, and look what's happening here, right? This is the biggest thing that hit me. In terms of UX, you can't see that these are tabs. Even more than that, what do these icons mean? Can you let me know in the general chat what these icons mean? This is bookmark. This is a box. This is probably my account. And this is probably comments, right? Where in fact, obviously that's not the case. This is details probably. This is the curriculum. This is the author about me. And these are the reviews. So this is where UX really comes into play. And, UX is deeply tied into UI. You might say, the icon choices are bad, are wrong, and that's the reason why things aren't great. You might say that's a UI problem, but actually it's a UX problem. It's a user experience problem. And, moving on down, what people probably tend to do is they have a look here, maybe they watch the video, and obviously when they scroll down, they see so much bold, chunky text. They see all these icons here. It's really obvious that some people may not click here on the free lessons. So if you're already here, that's it. I've lost you. You don't see the free lessons anymore. So what I did, this is actually the updated version. One quick fix, I added this right here, this button, this red button here that says free lessons. And when you click it, you're taken to one free lesson right here. And if you click it, the video is going to start to play. Now, this seems like such a basic thing, but look what happened. Before, I got 1 sale per day. Now I'm getting 3 or 4 sales per day. I tripled my business. During the last 4 days, every single day, the business has been much better. Sales have gone up tremendously. Because of one thing, because of one red button. This is exactly what I want to teach you. This is exactly the point of Mastered Web Design in Photoshop, or the new Adobe XD course. Obviously, the Adobe XD course is actually learning the program itself. But these little things, just adding one single button there improved the experience dramatically, improved the conversion rate dramatically. And it's so easy to code. It took about 10 minutes. It cost me like €20, $25 or something like that. And it was so basic. And it's the same thing here. Before, this was really small text. It was black. Now I made it orange. I made it bold. And I made this next lesson. This is what it says here. I made it into a button. And because of that, these are the only changes I've made. No more marketing, nothing else, no budget optimizations, nothing. This is the only thing that I did. Because of that, during the past 4 days, I've had loads of sales. I had more sales. So it just goes to show you that, some nasty icons, some non-specific icons that don't make any sense, it can totally kill a business. Or otherwise said, one single button, well placed, can totally change the sales of a business. And this is what you should do with your clients. This is exactly the type of value. Now, hear me out. Let's say per month I was doing $3,000, right? Let's say I was doing $100 per day and I was making $3,000 per month. Random numbers. And now with this change, I'm making $9,000, right? Now, let's flip this around. If you had a designer that said, okay, look, $25, 10 minutes of coding, I can increase your sales by 200 or 300%. How much is that designer worth? how much should that designer charge you? So that's exactly what you have to do. Because basically, if you've watched Master Web Design in Photoshop, you know that the first pillar of web design is pixel perfect execution, and then understanding the client's needs and whatnot. But assuming those are all well sorted, that you're able to execute pixel perfect designs, how do you get from $500 to $5,000, right? Or $15,000 to $25,000? Well, it's this thing here. Obviously, my website is peanuts, right? From 3,000 to 9,000. Obviously, it's a huge jump, but 9,000 isn't all that much. And again, these are just random numbers. But imagine an e-commerce website. Imagine a really well sorted, a well-established business. Now, you would assume, well, Chris, obviously big businesses, they don't have these types of mistakes, right? They don't have these types of mistakes. Wrong. They totally have these types of mistakes. And again, this is where you can bring tons of value. But here's the scoop. Let's bring it back. So I was struggling to get more sales, right? And I was constantly talking to the agency. And the agency said, okay, Chris, let's create a different landing page. Let's create a landing page where we only show the videos, where we do this and that. And I was just thinking in my mind, man, these are going to be at least 2 weeks of development, at least €1,000 cost, in terms of coding time and whatnot. And obviously, this is just an idea. We don't really know if we're gonna make a separate page with the free lessons, if that's actually gonna make a big improvement, right? And this is where things clicked. I was wondering, should I go ahead and do it? I was actually considering it, because the marketing agency, they're pretty experienced. So obviously, you should listen to experts, right? And before I jumped the gun, before I pulled the trigger, actually, I said, okay, let's see what else I could do. The problem is in the desktop version, I was really feeling confident because of this text layer. I was feeling confident that this right here, watch the free lectures, was enough. But I didn't take into account the fact that obviously most of my traffic is mobile. That's the one single thing I didn't take into account. So I was basically fooling myself. I was thinking that this was enough, when in fact it wasn't enough. Because again, if you switch to the mobile version, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's really important. When you switch to the mobile version, there's so much to look at. There's so much information here, so many colors, so much bright text, so many chunks, so many bold and black text layers. So again, this one little thing tripled my business. Now again, this is the type of thing that you have to do. If you come in and you say, okay, we need to redo the entire thing, well, obviously clients are not going to be all that happy with it, right? And let's bring it back here again. Let's assume that the increase is not 300%. Let's say that you're hired by whatever, a restaurant, an e-commerce store, a fashion website, whatever. And you do one little change that takes 10 minutes to code, 20 minutes to code, and it costs €20, $100, whatever. And the increase in sales is not 300%, it's only 20%. It's only 10%. It only took, whatever, $100. It only took 10 minutes to do. I can assure you the client will still be over the moon about it. I can assure you that a 10% increase after whatever 20 minutes of work, that's still fantastic, right? So you don't have to promise the moon. You don't have to come into to a discussion with the client and say, okay, look, I'm going to triple your sales. Because maybe that's not the case, right? Maybe it's not going to be a substantial bump. But even if you manage to achieve 10%, that's still fantastic. So let me know if you have any comments regarding what I just said in the general channel. And I'm gonna jump into some design reviews, and we'll see what's. But let me know in the general channel before I get into these designs, if you have anything that you'd like to say about it. Let's see. Okay. Then let's jump into some design reviews. So this is Robert. He's from Romania. Nice work. Let's have a quick look. This is the first time I'm seeing his design. So let's have a quick look. Okay. And I think I'm gonna really bore you with something that I've already said a bunch of times. I think you probably know what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Are you ready? First of all, let me know in the general chat if you like these designs, if you appreciate them, if you think they're great or not. Yep. Okay. Well. Here's the thing. I think that's a waste of time. And I'm saying that with all positive intentions, with all good vibes. Creating stuff like that is a waste of time because how are you able to monetize it? And this goes great with exactly what I just said before, right? So I come into play and I say, okay, I can triple your sales, or I'm gonna do one thing, right? And I'm gonna increase the sales dramatically. So that's my value, jumping the revenue from $3,000 to $9,000 or whatever, from 3,000 to 3,500. So that's the value I bring, right? So how much am I worth, right? Because again, that's gonna be month over month, year after year, right? So my value as a designer, by doing that, by adding that button, by having the knowledge, the inspiration, the glimpse of genius of putting that button in, I know my value, right? I can easily charge whatever I want to charge, right? On the other hand, if we have a look at Robert's portfolio, it's lovely, right? It's not fantastic. He's not incredibly talented. He's not the next whatever, Mike from Creative Mints, but he's great, right? Pretty good stuff. How is he able to monetize it? That's the thing. I think we have a few people in review my work in the channel that constantly post various things. Things regarding whatever GTA, regarding whatever random stuff, skeleton hands, whatever. And that's my only concern. What are you supposed to do with them? Now listen, I totally understand that people want to have fun. They want to relax. They want to do something just to be creative, right? They want a hobby, right? But for me, again, creating a Facebook ad or whatever, creating a YouTube thumbnail, that's still fun for me. It's still a creative process, right? Doing something interesting. So that's the only question. Why would you actually spend your time creating on something that has 0% chance of actually generating any money, of actually making you any money? That's the only thing that baffles me. And again, I'm not trying to impose my, how I see the world and how I see Photoshop and whatever. I don't try to make everyone use it the same way I do. But it's just one thing that I'm actually genuinely curious about, Why would you not spend time and, again, just create whatever? This is exactly what I would do. Because there are so many people that don't have a portfolio, right? So many people here in the Discord, the chat that don't have a portfolio. Listen, you come here to my online business. You steal one of these jobs, one of these photos, right? And you create some Facebook ads. You create a Facebook cover. You create a YouTube thumbnail. You create whatever you want to create, right? And then you post it. And maybe I'm going to like it, and maybe I'm going to buy it for $20, for $50, for $100, whatever. At least there's a chance to actually make some money out of it, right? But if you're making a skeleton hand, what's the end game there? You're gonna sell what, paintings on Etsy? You're gonna create t-shirts with that design? It's very unlikely. It's a huge long shot, right? Not to mention the fact that, again, in today's economy, if you wanna get a job, if you go to a company and say, hey, I can take care of your social media, right? I can create content for your social media. Let me know how many companies do you think that are gonna say, okay, no, Chris, sorry about that. We're not interested. We're not interested in getting more sales through social media. We're not. It's totally fine. We'd much rather have someone create skeleton hands, or illustrations of photos for our pizza parlor, for our restaurant. This is what we need: skeleton hands. So again, I think, why not open another lane? Why not open something else? Why not explore some different avenues. You know, create something that everybody is looking for. Not everybody is looking for illustrations of forests and city skylines and whatever. Free pick is not something that's hidden. Everybody knows about free pick. So you being another guy that creates illustrations, and not great ones at that, because obviously you can't be great at it if you don't do it a lot. So if you plan on going, you know, in that niche where it's already so crowded and free pick gives you all the options in the world for pennies, for literally pennies when it comes to companies and, you know, people that have a decent budget, why would you do that? Instead, try and focus on this thing, you know, how you can switch a business, how you can increase the business's revenue, the bottom line, right? Let's jump into some design reviews. Let's go with this one. Let's see. Yeah, I was just about to open Photoshop to another way. I actually have a pre-release version that I'm not allowed to show you with some interesting features, but stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. We'll see what's what. So let's have a quick look here and see what we can do. This is smart training. Let's see if we can have a quick look and see if we can have something to learn from this design. So first and foremost, the width is great, 1600. The active area, let's have a quick look. I think it's fine. Yep, it's 1200. Good job on that. Okay, this is not visible. Could you actually tell that this is a different color? I really don't think so. I think most people would not see it. So I think that's a mistake. The most glaring mistake is this one right here. You can tell that this was probably, I think the designer didn't have Illustrator. Yeah, I think this is what happened. So I think he didn't have Illustrator. He actually opened the JPEG and he actually deleted the background, the white background. And it was probably, yeah. No, actually, no. I thought these were remnants. Yeah, so what he did was probably deleted the background. I'm not sure what's this. Probably some remains from the background. It was probably a raster layer, because obviously if you want to delete the background, you're probably gonna rasterize it, and then he enlarged it, and obviously it's pixelated as hell, which is quite a shame. Next. This is not vertically centered. The first rule in master web design in Photoshop. What is it? If you don't have a pixel perfect execution, don't send it for the review. So you can clearly see that there's a huge gap right here. Quite a shame. Another thing, I'm not sure why this has a lower opacity. That doesn't make any sense. This contrast, believe it or not, is pretty okay. This one is not. But this is very interesting. You see this part right here? Wow, this tells me that probably this designer used Photoshop CS5, I believe. CS 5.5. That, or I don't really think you can actually distort it like that in the CC versions. Even if you do a Control T, I'm not sure that you can actually distort it like that. Yeah, I'm not really sure how he got it. Probably he used the path selection tool, but it's really such a goddamn shame that this is not crisp. This part and this part right here, these edges are not crisp. You can see the top one and the right edge, these are fine. But yeah, that's one thing that constantly happened in CS 5.5, which came out in, I think, 2010, so 10 years ago. So using software from 10 years ago may not be ideal. Winamp is fine, but you know, besides that, I don't think that's a good fit. Let's see what else. Smart training. This is pretty good. And believe it or not, even this grid right here, this is actually pretty good. I don't have any beef with it. I think it can work pretty well. I'm not really all that in love with read more. I think that could be a lot better. Yeah, I think that could be seriously improved. But overall, you know, this is pretty good overall. I think this is fairly balanced. One thing that I would strongly suggest, though, is to make sure that you don't hyphenate. Hyphenation is not a good look in modern web design. I'm not really sure why that is. I can't really tell you why that's the case, why it doesn't look great, but it just doesn't. So I'll leave it like that, right? So I can see that people are saying that Robert did a pretty good job with his designs, cool designs. Yeah, but again, no option to monetize them. Now right here, let's see what's what. Get started. Yep. So here's yet another thing that would really, that's again, it's the principle of consistency, right? A very small thing that again can really increase your sales. So very simple thing. Now, at the top, we have start training, right? Here we have start training yet again, right? But now we have get started here. Now, you may not think that this is a big deal, but this is actually a big deal. Is this get started button different than the one at top that's then start training? And again, start training here. Are these two different actions? Now, you might not assume, you might not think that the user will be distracted or will hesitate based on this thing, but actually that's the science behind it. That's what I've seen in countless examples. And one of the best ways, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, Leak UI. Let me quickly show you. So basically, we have this website, which I don't really strongly recommend. That basically says that basically does the following. This website observes what various companies are doing. For example, Netflix, and it shows the results. So basically, if you don't know, companies all over the world, big companies, are spending loads of money trying to optimize every single thing, every click, everything that you see. Should it be in blue? Should it be red? Should it be on the left side, on the right side? It should be top, bottom, whatever. So every single detail that you can imagine, big companies are testing it. Why are they testing it? Because it's a matter of money. It's a matter of money. So when you change a label, instead of start training, you put get started, that one little thing may decrease your revenue by whatever, by 2%, by 4%, by 5%. It's not a lot, right? But it adds up. And when you're dealing with large companies with serious revenue, a 1% decrease because your button isn't good enough, that's a lot. That's huge. So this is where you truly shine as a web designer. This is exactly where you should be at. You're not a web designer. I think you're the problem solver. This is how I view myself. Or the product designer, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. Your job is to make sure the client is happy. And how do you make the client happy? By designing something shiny? No, by making sure that the bottom line, that the revenue goes up. That's the only thing that you have to do. So, again, companies are doing the following, right? So we have one scenario on the left side where we have this thing right here, this field and this red try it now button. And then we have this other one, this variation, where you have the email and password basically so you can register directly, right? This didn't work, the right side. So they chose this one. Now, what does that mean? That means that you should do exactly the same. That means that you should copy exactly that layout from Netflix. Exactly that one. Now, overall, this website actually purchased it, the premium subscription, and I've seen every single one of these cases. It's not always right. It's not always a good. It's not a great experience. I can't really say that it's really worth the money. But there are some cases. For example, here yet again. So we have try it now, where you click and probably there's a pop-up. And then this one on the right side is the one they left. This is the one they used, where you can input your email address directly. And why does that actually make sense? Because there's one less click. So this is the type of thing that we're doing in web design. One click. That can affect the bottom line. That can affect the bottom line. That one click. Again, whether it's 1% or 10% or 100%, 300%, it's still really important, right? Because again, how much does this cost to implement? Nothing. Nothing, right? A few minutes, half an hour, whatever. It's not a dramatic change, yet you can get more out of it. You can squeeze more juice out of it, out of your website. This is again what companies are looking for. So again, going back to this specific design, I know I really went off here. We have get started here and another call to action here called start training, right? So overall, I don't think this is a good design overall, because the hero area is really poor. I think green doesn't work all that well in this circumstance. So yeah, overall, I don't think I'm in love with it. This part is really, I think you can easily reuse it. The photos are top notch. The photos are generic, I'll give you that. And this one does seem to be distorted. I think he didn't use a clipping mask. But even so, I would probably reuse it. I'm not sure why that is, but I think the photos really work well. I think that the 3 lines of text, again, they're pretty well spaced out. The font itself, that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. So yeah, overall, I think this is a good fit. Rolands, if you want to send your design for review, now is the time, because I'm going to end this chat in a few minutes. So if you want to send something, do it now. White color and buttons. Yes, well, this is why I actually memorize color codes. The problem with white is that sometimes you don't have enough contrast. And if you don't have contrast, nothing is worthwhile, right? So if you don't have enough contrast, well, actually, let's do it right. Because an actual button would be something like, whatever, let's say 220 by 60, right? So this would be an actual well-proportioned button for the hero area. So as you can see right here, it's not all that great. It's not all that great. So this would not work. If I were me, I would probably use 222 or something like that. I think this is a better fit. Now, obviously, there are certain shades, certain color codes here that you could use, where obviously the text may work. It may have a better amount of contrast. You would have to go more towards orange. But what you should never do is the following. Never do the following. Never do this. Please don't do this, right? This is not cool. And obviously I'm exaggerating. We could do something like this, but this is not a good look. Rollons, I'm sorry, you snooze, you lose. So yeah, that's it. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions in the general channel. Again, I find it really interesting to talk about these things, because again, if there's one thing I would love more than anything, is for you guys to have successful careers and send me 10% of your earnings, right? That's what I would love. I'm joking, obviously. But again, you know, I really think that it's my job to make sure that I let you know that even though you may have a pretty good portfolio regarding illustrations and whatnot, I think it's my job to at least let you know that, hey, you can't make any money, you don't have any future doing this. Well, there's a very slim chance, because maybe he's gonna spend 3 more months, 3 years, 10 years, and he's gonna be the next Mike from Creative Mints. Maybe he's gonna become the best illustration artist in the world, right? So I don't want to stomp on anyone's dreams. But on the other hand, I really feel like it's my duty to tell you that, hey, you know, you can add one button, you can do various things, and you can increase the revenue of a business, and then you can take a good chunk of that. You can again, imagine my life. Imagine my life as a designer, right? Let's say I work with 2 companies per month, right? And I manage to increase their revenue, right? I charge them whatever, let's say 3,000 per month, and the other one, whatever, 2,000 per month, 5,000, 2 clients. Imagine that. Now, you would say that, okay, Chris, sure. Now, listen, you made one change, you did increase the revenue, but then they're gonna fire you. But then you're gonna finish the project, and that's that. Who says so? Because here's the thing. You can continue to work. You can continue to explore. You can have a look at Google Analytics and see other parts where you may improve. Maybe it's not going to be 100%. Maybe it's not going to be 20%. But if you manage to squeeze out, to constantly squeeze out a few percent every single month, then you're golden. And imagine that. Imagine how great your life would be if you could manage, to make a few $1,000s just by doing these small little things, right? Just tweaks here and there. Obviously, you could probably design or redesign some pages. You would have to probably do some real work. But again, the amount of work you do versus the value should be seen in the bottom line. And based on that, you should obviously take a percentage or a cut or whatever, or a few $1,000s per month, whatever floats your boat, right? So this is the type of thing that really gets me going, because as a business owner, if you tell me, let's end with this. As a business owner, if you tell me, hey Chris, I've seen your Photoshop course in English, right? I can sell it. I can do various things on YouTube or Instagram ads or whatever, and I can sell it fantastically. I can sell whatever. 10 courses per day at $397, right? So $4,000 per day. We're gonna deduct $1,000 for the ad spend. We're gonna be left with $3,000 per day, right? Out of that 3,000, I want 1,000. If there's no profit, you don't have to pay me. Would you take that deal? Of course, right? Because that's how most people are, right? It's based on performance. And if it's based on performance, if you go to a company and say, hey, listen, if I manage to increase your revenue, I'd like this amount of money. Are you okay with that? Do you agree with that? I'm sure that a large percentage would say yes. Because why wouldn't they? Right? Why wouldn't they? So that's the type of thing I'm trying to teach you, and hopefully I'll manage through all my courses. That's about it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Chris. I forgot to tell you the date. God damn it. This is the 29th of July, because obviously, you spent 37 minutes and you don't know the date, right? Because that's the type of person you are, right? This is actually just for me, the 29th of July. I'm not actually gonna... I should have said it at the beginning. Let me know next time. Remind me to say it at the beginning. Thank you guys so much. I hope you're having a great day. I still have loads to do. I have 99 pages written for the Adobe XD course out of my proposed 220, but I will start recording and I will start producing the content, and I'll probably release the course in 2 parts, basically. I think that's going to be the plan. I'm going to release it as fast as possible, probably somewhere between 6 and 8 hours, and I'm constantly going to add more and more to it. Again, thank you. We'll talk a bit later. Now I have to go back and write some more and do various things here. Thank you. I'm out. Bye.